Hi everybody, it's Dr. Beachcomb. I'm going to give you a tutorial on black glass today. It's one of my favorite types of sea glass that you can find on beaches the world over. Though there are certain places it's more prolific than others. Scotland, the United Kingdom, the east coast of the US, the Caribbean, the Maritimes in Canada. I've actually found some in Hawaii. Anywhere where there was a lot of long settlement history or exploration through different countries, the South China trade, the fur trade up to the Pacific Northwest, the explorers in Hawaii, the pirates and privateers down in the Caribbean going up the East Coast and back over to England. The reason you're going to find it is because black glass was used, it was dark, very little could get through it. So on long voyages, it was perfect because the light couldn't get through it and sort of ruin the liquid inside. Most black glass isn't really black. It can be many different colors. The oldest is usually a green like this, or an olive shade, or a dark amber. But later on, you start getting really neat surprises with black glass. You get teals, and you get, well, more amber. What other color do I have here for you? More amber, that's the most common. So there are ways to date the black glass you find. Glass that doesn't have any markings at all is usually the oldest. This one is a piece probably from the mid-1700s to the early 1800s. And if you see, there's no, can you see that? There's no marking in there at all. Later on, you get glass like this, which is mid-1800s. And I've actually, if you have bottle friends, 1840 to 1860, if there are bottle shops around where you live, you really want to go and visit them because these guys really know what they're talking about. These, the giveaway for these are gin bottles. And they're square, which made them easier to store. And these are mid-1800s to late 1800s. This guy over here, see the ponto mark? See the mold marks when they started manufacturing the bottles? This is later. This is about 1870, 1880. Other telltale ways to check out the black glass that you find are the lips. These lips, the older bottles, had a string drawn around the glass to just make an indentation. They were not manufactured. They were not in a mold. These guys are late 1600s. These are 1700s, mid-1700s to maybe the early 1800s. Then you start getting blob marks, or actually this isn't really a blob. This is more of a mold mark and glass manufactured around it. And these are more in the mid-1800s, 1880s. And then you have other ways. You have, look, see this? This is black glass. It's a gin bottle. It's a thin gin bottle. Here's a thicker rim. These are what the bottoms look like. So when you find this, you know you found a bottle bottom. Now some black glass you find is very interesting. This is a really old piece, and I do call this pirate glass. This was found in Bermuda. It's from the mid-1700s, maybe a little earlier. And you can just picture the pirates sitting around a fire going yo-ho-ho and smashing the bottles in the fire. This guy was underwater for years, and if you look very carefully, you might see some oil on the watercolor, sort of a shiny degradation. That's called sick glass, and that's when glass sits in the water for a very long time, salt water, and degrades. That's an archaeological term for sick glass. There's another term, and I call it stressed glass. You're going to find black glass like this. Oh, here's another thing. Here's sick glass. See, it's degraded, it's breaking down. Stressed glass is glass that clearly has been stressed. It's been in a fire. It's old glass too, but it's something else was going on. This is an old piece with this glass. Now, when you beachcomb along the Atlantic coast, you usually find vessel glass like this. When you beachcomb over in England, you're going to find the black glass because the North Sea is so turbulent, it wears things down so much. You're going to find little balls of black glass, which look very much like the rocks. It's hard to differentiate, and a lot of beachcombers take their flashlight, and when they find a piece, and to differentiate, instead of carrying it all the way, they'll put it like this. It's sort of your mystery glass. And you're going to have imposters. For instance, this looks like black glass, and it is black glass, but it's floor tile. It's not your bottle glass. It's still really cool, but it's a utility piece more than a vessel piece. This piece thinks it's black glass, but it's really not. This is white glass that's turned gray in the sun because it has a high lead content. It is an old bottle, though. And this piece is magnificent. This was gifted to me by my friend Gavin in Seaham. If I can get my flashlight to work, look at this. This really isn't black glass. That's a multi from Seaham, England. Spectacular, huh? Anyway, thank you for listening to me. I want you to notice I'm wearing one of my other thrift shop shirts. I get all my clothes from the thrift shop. I hope you keep things out of the landfill too. Happy beachcombing. Get outside and play.